Tonight at 10, a day after a substitute teacher is accused of saying a racial slur at a Middleton school, an event is celebrating the work of Dr. Martin Luther King and the work that still needs to be done. And the government is still under a partial government shutdown despite new offers from the president and Democrats. We'll update you. And the Badgers get back on track, taking down one of the best teams in the country.
This is News 3 at 10.
The first major snowstorm in our area hit last night. It dumped as much as 8 inches of snow in some areas. Throughout last night into early this morning, crews cleared snow-covered roads and dealt with several vehicle slide-offs. But officials say the overnight crashes were kept at a minimum and no injuries were reported. Thousands of flights have been canceled or delayed, and cars and trucks have been sliding on icy interstates across the Midwest. A United Airlines aircraft taxiing after landing during a snowstorm slid off the runway at Chicago O'Hare International Airport earlier today. Firefighters helped the nearly 130 passengers from Phoenix get to safety. Sanitation workers and hundreds of spreaders and plows have been working around the clock in America's third largest city, fighting those conditions.
We got a lot of snow, a lot of wind, you got a lake effect, and then you got dropping temperatures. So this makes it a little rough on everybody.
Cities across the east are pre-treating their roads in anticipation of snow, sleet, freezing rain, and ice. All right, Dana Fulton on the weather patio right now. She says more snow is on the way, but first cold.
First cold, and then we'll start to see the snow. Thankfully, all that lake effect is going to stay well to the east. No threat for us in Madison. We saw quite a bit, though, come through last night. Almost 8 inches of snowfall for us in New Glarus in the northeast corner of Dodgeville. In Madison, our official number, 6 inches. But here at the station, we picked up just a little more than 7. So for many areas, it really depends on what side of town you were on, how much snowfall you did receive. Now for Columbus, almost 4.5 inches and almost 5 inches in McFarland. So quite a snow event sliding through. Looking at our Doppler radar right now, things are actually fairly calm for us this evening. It's just very, very cold outside. About 6 degrees currently in Madison, 10 in Mineral Point and in Janesville, with our temperatures dropping overnight with the wind factored in. That puts our wind chill at -4 already in Madison. Do know that your Sunday is going to start off very chilly. Now, because of the wind chill, we do still have alert days in the forecast for tonight and for your Sunday. Still seeing a little bit of blowing snow for us and drifting snow tonight, and that's going to continue into tomorrow morning. Our wind chills are expected to be anywhere from -10 to -20 to start off your Sunday, with our high temperatures in the lower teens. So a very chilly day, and we are planning on very chilly temperatures throughout much of next week. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead in your 10-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, as Dana said, temperatures are expected to be frigid over the next few days and into next weekend. If you or someone you know needs somewhere warm to go, there are a few places you can go. Here's just a few of them. In Dane County, all families and single women experiencing homelessness can sleep at the Salvation Army's emergency shelter in Madison. That's at 630 East Washington Avenue. All homeless single men can sleep at the Grace Men's drop-in shelter at 116 West Washington Avenue. In Beloit, men, women, and children can stay at the Sparrow's Nest Shelter at 1816 Harrison Avenue. And in Janesville, the Gifts Men's Shelter provides shelter for men at 1025 North Washington Street. If you're having trouble finding resources, you can call 211 and someone will be able to help you. This weekend, we're honoring the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And as the nation celebrates, so do people in Dane County. Adam Duxter tells us how recent events of alleged bigotry in Middleton had an impact on a celebration of Dr. King's life today. Adam.
Amanda, leaders at the MLK Forum for Social Change did not shy away from talking about the events that have happened recently at Dane County schools, but they are taking the time to celebrate how far things have come. Dancing, singing, and spoken word, all part of an effort to redefine what this holiday weekend is all about.
For the past few years, I've just been frustrated with the typical I have a dream MLK. MLK is so much more than what we always tend to see over this weekend around his I have a dream speech.
Percy Brown, the CEO of Critical Consciousness Education, says there has long been an idea that the impacts of Jim Crow did not reach Wisconsin.
The narrative around issues of racism has always been, it's been in the South.
But speakers at tonight's event shared their personal stories of racism they've experienced firsthand through the desegregation of public schools 62 years ago. They also acknowledged the presence of racism in our schools today. A Middleton teacher is currently on leave for allegedly using a racial slur in front of a student. And this is one of several incidents of teachers using slurs in the classroom around the area.
It's our new reality. Because of the national climate, these things have resurfaced.
Brown says it's important to address what's happening in order to make progress.
If we, try not to confront those issues, then things won't change.
Tonight's event, a celebration of how far the communities around us have come, but looking towards how Dane County can continue to grow.
We have some work to do, and to blame that on black people or, allowing stereotypes to kind of be the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing, that's not justice.
And at tonight's event, one man shared his experience of going through the desegregation process himself as a young man. Wonder how short of a time ago that was in America's history.
All right, thank you so much, Adam. And if you missed this event, there are a number of other MLK Day events around the area in the next few days. Tomorrow is the Martin Luther King Jr. Outstanding Young Person Breakfast at the Edgewood High School. For 35 years, the event has celebrated students of color and their academic achievement, extracurricular involvement, and service to their community. It's hosted by the Urban League of the Greater Madison area and the King Coalition. We will be there and bring you that story tomorrow on News 3 at 10. President Trump offered a compromise to try to persuade House Democrats to come back to the negotiating table and fund the border wall. The partial government shutdown over border security is now in its 29th day. Nicole Killian has the latest from Washington.
President Trump announced a new proposal to extend temporary protection to 700,000 Dreamers and those with temporary protected status as a way to jumpstart negotiations on border security with Democrats.
This extension will give them access to work permits, Social Security numbers, and protection from deportation.
He's making the offer to try to end the 29-day-old partial government shutdown. In exchange, the president wants $5.7 billion to fund a wall on the southern border.
As a candidate for president, I promised I would fix this crisis, and I intend to keep that promise one way or the other.
Democrats have their own plan to add more money to spending bills up for votes on border security next week, but it does not include funding for a border wall.
I'm not for a wall. I'm not for a wall. I'm not for a wall.
In a statement, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called the president's proposal a compilation of several previously rejected initiatives, and taken together, they are a non-starter. Democrats are pressing the president to reopen the government before negotiations resume.
This is a shutdown that's the longest in history. It's the dumbest in history, and it may well be the most damaging in history.
Thousands of federal workers are caught in the middle of the border security fight. If a deal is not reached by early next week, they'll miss a second paycheck. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he'll hold a vote on the president's, quote, bold plan next week. Workers at Wisconsin's only federal prison are asking the public to call Congress and urge them to end the government shutdown. All of the federal employees at the Oxford facility have been without pay since December 22nd, with no idea when they might see a paycheck again. Tim Weigett and Mel Klitsky are among those workers.
Right now, I'm surviving, but if I miss another paycheck, I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
But when you got worries at home, wondering how you're going to pay for bills, take care of your family, it's only human that transfers when you come inside working in these walls.
Both say the government has provided them with no way to access their earned income. Tim says he's had to answer to creditors that don't even know the shutdown is happening. On the same day as several women's marches across the country, hundreds of supporters braved the cold to head to Wisconsin's capital on Saturday for the state's Women's Wave event. Their message tonight that women are tough and they are not going anywhere. Beyond celebrating historic wins for women in the midterm election, March organizers are working to create policy change by bringing a legislative agenda to the Capitol that includes focuses on expanding health care and reforming immigration. Women's March Wisconsin volunteers say although they had hoped for a bigger crowd, those who showed up speak loudly enough.
We were expecting a good crowd today, but with the winter storm, we knew that our turnout was going to be low, and instead of canceling, we said we're going to show up. We are not going anywhere, and that's going to be sending a clear message to our legislators.
Women's March Wisconsin collected items for people in need because of the government shutdown at the event to be donated to the River Food Pantry in Madison and Program the Parks in Milwaukee. It was a party at the Kohl Center today, with Wisconsin pulling a major upset this afternoon. Despite an early start time of 11 a.m., the center was packed for the Badgers to beat the formerly undefeated Michigan Wolverines, 64-54. Coming into the game, Michigan had won 31 of their last 32 games. Melissa Campbell will have more highlights from the game in about 20 minutes. Coming up, we take you inside a day full of some of Wisconsinites' favorite things, beer and cheese. Welcome back. A unique competition in Sun Prairie is showing off the soccer skills of people with disabilities. Wheelchair power soccer teams from Madison, Chicago, Minnesota, and Chippewa Valley competed in the Spin Kick Classic today. Players spanning a range of age and ability competed in games throughout the day. One athlete says playing power soccer has helped him overcome the assumption that people with disabilities can't be competitive.
I'm 31, right? And I didn't have a real way to express that competitive spirit until I found power soccer a year ago. People with physical disabilities are competitive too, and I think that we really lack a lot of outlets to express that, so I think that power soccer is a really good way to do that.
Representatives from Forward Madison Pro Soccer were also at the event. Beer and cheese, what is not to love? Today was the 10th annual Isthmus Beer and Cheese Fest at the Alliant Energy Center. We sent our photojournalist Brian Troxel to capture the sights, sounds, and of course, the tastes.
That's what you do when it snows. You drink some beer, eat some cheese.
I mean, it's amazing that people will make it through this kind of weather to come in. It's our biggest year yet. Over 5,000 ticket buyers this year, and about 150 vendors, about 130 of which are brewers.
Oh, there you go.
It goes to show people love craft beer and the success of that market, and cheese. People love to talk to these brewers and these cheesemakers.
It's a little warm in here, so it's a little volatile today, but we're getting her down. What do you need, my man? Same one? You got it.
We're really trying to showcase the best of beer in the state and in the region. A lot of brewers bring their own creations, so you obviously can't find that anywhere.
You get to try things that aren't really like on retail, like small batch stuff that people make, like a banana beer or like a pina colada beer.
There is a house in New Orleans. It's really fun, so why not? We're always here for a good time.
Madisonians had a reason to get out and enjoy the recent snowfall today. Hilldale's Winterfest featured family-friendly activities, ice sculptures, and in-store deals. People had the opportunity to try their hands at skee ball and their feet at snowshoeing. Shoppers who preferred to enjoy the season from inside could also enjoy sales, sips, and sweets.
We were so excited. I wasn't totally sure how Winterfest was going to go without snow, and it was the perfect timing, and it just kept snowing and snowing and snowing, and it stopped, and now it's like Bluebird Day, 8 inches of snow. It's just gorgeous.
Of course, many of those outdoor games and activities would not have been possible without yesterday's snowfall, and we're gonna have some more snow, but first, it is gonna get cold.
It is going to get quite cold, Amanda, for us. Looking at our Sunday, our Monday, and even at the extended forecast, our 10-day forecast holds several very chilly days. Now, our Doppler track has really calmed down for us throughout southern Wisconsin. As you just heard, a bluebird sky for us today. Now, we do still have a little bit of lake effect snow there right along Milwaukee, but most of that's really wrapping up. They had a few lingering warnings that have since been canceled. We're just talking about the cold now. High pressure keeping us mostly clear for Sunday and the start of Monday. That system, of course, that brought all of the snowfall for us, now moving towards the east coast, pushing rain to the southeast and snow to the New England area. We are going to stay quiet overnight. It is just going to be very cold to start off our Sunday. Temperatures will be from -10 to -20 early Sunday morning, and the same goes for Monday. Notice there throughout the day on Sunday, we're not expecting our temperatures to feel any warmer than 0. Overall, your Monday is also going to be a very cool day. Even by Monday afternoon, it will still feel close to 0 in Madison as our temperatures will climb to the mid to upper teens. So it'll be just a little warmer than where actual temps are at. Overnight, we're going to continue to fall. We'll start the day close to 0 for us in Madison, about 1 degree for our overnight low, 1 lone little degree for us. Throughout the day, we will get sunshine. Afternoon highs will be in the low teens. Some areas, though, may not hop out of the single digits for us for Sunday. Throughout the day on Monday, we are expecting another very cold afternoon. Temperatures will be below 0 for us in the morning. Again, -10 to -24 are wind chills, though. In the afternoon, we are going to land close to about 18 for our high, but we are looking at the chance for some light snow to start to build in for us late Monday. It'll stay overnight and through most of the day on Tuesday. And this snow event seems to really encompass more of Wisconsin rather than just the southern portion of the state this time, as this area of low pressure is going to track through central Illinois rather than going further south. Now, the problem with that, it's really pushing this freezing rain line close to the state border. That's not good news for us. That brings ice and really messy travel conditions. We want that freezing rain line to stay a little further south. Then we get to have snow. It's easier to clean up. Plus, it's also just nicer to look at. That travels through for us overnight, pulling away, and by Wednesday morning, we're not talking about snowfall anymore. We're just talking about another blast of cold air for the end of the week. Now, our GFS model is bringing in almost 5.5 inches of snow. The Euro closer to 5 inches, and our NAM just over 3 inches for us. So 3 to 5, kind of our safe range right now, but kind of going to tighten that range up for us over the next few days. We still have plenty of time, of course, to really bring that down or keep it secure right at 3 to 5. But again, the timeline there seems pretty set for us. It'll be Monday night throughout the day on Tuesday and into early Wednesday morning. Temperatures dropping to just 1 degree tonight, lone little number. Very clear and very cold for us to start off the day with those wind chills factored in. Overall temperatures tomorrow will be in the low teens for afternoon highs. Slight chance for a flurry later on in the evening, but not a huge chance for us. The alert day still in the forecast, of course, with the wind chills for us on Sunday. For Martin Luther King Jr. Day, it'll be cold in the morning and then in the teens in the afternoon. Again, that flurry chance starts up late Monday. Light snow expected throughout the day. On Tuesday, it'll wrap up on Wednesday, and then notice that cold air plunges back in, and we're expecting our temperatures to be in the single digits yet again overnight and below zero heading into next weekend and the start of next week. And then we'll have cold afternoon highs as well. So we are not out of the clear with this blast of cold air, Amanda. We have another one on the way.
Oh my goodness, all those single digits I see there.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Still ahead, we've got some action on the high school hardwood tonight. Highlights coming up next in sports.
Well, since 2013, the Kohl Center has not been the best place for top 10 teams to come play the Badgers because home court advantage is a thing in Madison. That year, Wisconsin beat then-ranked third-ranked Michigan. And last year, if you remember this, the Badgers upset number 6 Purdue, so it was just about time today, right? We pick it up in the second half. Aleem Ford from the top of the key for 3. Badgers take the lead over Michigan. Later, Nate Reavers in some trouble there, but Ford is there with the help and one. Looks like Ford has got his groove back, by the way. He had 9 points off the bench. Then check out Ethan Happ, the All-American, working every single inch of that floor, ending up with the signature lefty hook shot there. Badgers back in the lead, and Happ doing some sharing on the floor too. Out to Kobe King for 3. Wisconsin up 48-44. King with 6 points, 5 rebounds off the bench. Then put this next one on your highlight reel. Dimitri tries to Happ for the one-handed slam, opening up the lead to 6 points, and Happ just really doing it all today. Under 15 seconds to go, playing some defense there. Fast break up to Nate Reavers, and oh, the exclamation point. Reavers is pumped up. He had 9 points today. The Badgers hand the Wolverines their first loss of the season, so storm the court, Madison. Happ is probably pretty insta-famous tonight, we'll say. So, what was the difference for the Badgers today?
Unfazed was kind of our term for the game. No matter what happens, we're going to be unfazed and on to the next play. That's something that we've been talking about all week and something that we're going to keep talking about moving forward. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way, but the effort always has to be there to get the ball on rebounds, or whether it's turnovers, missed free throws, missed shots, just unfazed and get into the next play. I think that's going to be a good theme for our team moving forward.
Let's stay unfazed, guys, right? Wisconsin upsetting Michigan by 10 points. Ethan Happ with 26 points, 10 rebounds. It's the first win against a top 3 ranked Michigan squad since, of course, we mentioned earlier, February 2013. Next up, they're on the road at Illinois on Wednesday. Badgers now 12-6 overall. Elsewhere in the Big Ten today, number 25, Indiana at Purdue. Let's have some fun, guys. Okay, first half, Boilermakers up 3. Matt Harms, the dunk. 31-26, Purdue. To the second now, Zach McRoberts, the alley-oop to Justin Smith, but the Hoosiers down by doubles. But the icing on the cake for Purdue was Carson Edwards feeding Harms. This guy is pretty good. Purdue upsets Indiana 75-50, actually, that one. Stoughton girls basketball team taking on second-ranked New Berlin Eisenhower tonight. First half, Stoughton's Alex Ashworth for the 3-ball. Vikings up early by 3. Later on, Kiana Baker with the shot fake, drives to the basket, lays it in for 2. Stoughton adding on to their lead. But New Berlin Eisenhower battling back. Julia Hintz with the deep 3, and the Lions up now. A lot of back and forth in the first half in this one. Baker with a drive and dish to Ashworth for another 3, but New Berlin just too much. They beat the Vikings 72-46. Border Battle Part 2 at Ritter Arena in Minneapolis today between the best 2 teams in women's college hockey. Badgers down 2-0 in the second period until freshman Sophie Shirley lights the lamp for Wisconsin. It's her 13th goal of the season, but it wouldn't be enough. Gophers score again, winning 3-1. The 2 teams split the border battle for the second time this season. Now, the women's hockey team, they have 3 losses on their record right now. That's a lot for them, so that kind of gives you the idea of how high the standard is for this team. But they said overcoming adversity now is better than facing it later on in the postseason. So,
yeah, definitely. That makes sense. All right, thank you so much. We'll be right back. All right, it's already getting pretty chilly here tonight.
It is. It already feels like we're below zero with the wind
goodness.
factored in. That wind chill is just going to be such a killer tomorrow morning. We do have the alert day in the forecast for your Sunday because of our temperatures. It is going to drop to almost zero for us overnight with the wind chill anywhere from -10 to -20. Afternoon highs will be in the low teens. Some areas, though, staying in the single digits all day long on Sunday. Martin Luther King Jr. Day also starting off below zero. We're expecting some snow to come in for us late Monday and last throughout the day on Tuesday and linger even into Wednesday morning. Notice our temperatures on Tuesday, though, getting close to freezing. In some areas south of Madison may even see some freezing rainfall. So that's never a good thing. Always makes conditions a little messier outside and doesn't help with the cleanup either. Behind that snow event, we're getting another blast of cold air to end the week.
All right. Yay. All right. Thanks. Have a great night, everyone.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.